That I'm honest, I'm telling no lies when I say I'm up next and not just for the ride. Never a point when I question my mind. Know what I'm.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Superhuman Revolution. So today, like I promised, we're going to be talking about what is being a man. Is it an inherent quality or is it earned? We're born as men, obviously. We're born as guys, boys, the male gender, whatever it is. But to grow up being a man is entirely different. Yes, scientifically, biologically, we're men, we're of the male gender, but I think there's something more to that definition of being a man, what that means to be in your life. Okay, now think back growing up. Or maybe you're in high school or you're in college right now. But for me, when I was in high school, especially when I got into high school, becoming a man was most often attributed to having sex, losing your virginity first off. And as soon as you lose your virginity, that was the point where you became a man. But it didn't stop there. And then it continued and it graduated to not just losing your virginity to become a man, because that wasn't enough. You had to keep having sex with more and more people, and that became an increasing of your manhood. This ridiculous ideology that in order to become a man, you had to have sex with more and more people. In order to be accepted in your social circles and society, especially in high school and sometimes in college, it happens as well, you had to lose your virginity and to have sex with more and more people. It's ridiculous. That's what meant to become a man. But of course, in this creation of your manhood, to become a man, to graduate to manhood, nobody's thinking of the consequences, right? Nobody considers the feelings of the girl that you're having sex with. Nobody considers what the consequences of having sex might be. Nobody thinks, oh man, what if I hurt this girl? What if her or my parents catch us? And one of the most important questions is, especially if you're in high school, trying to become a man, what if I get her pregnant? Am I ready to be a father in high school or college? I bet the answer is no. These are just questions, just some questions that the average teenager or young adult or whatever it might be doesn't think about, because we're often misconstrued what the idea of manhood is, and we're obsessed with the selfish needs of ourselves. And now, guys, ask yourself, if you're having sex right now or in the past or whatever the case may be, whether it's your girlfriend or a random person or whatever it is, would you be able to go tell that girl's dad what you've been doing with her? How would you think he would feel after finding that out? Whether it's a one-night stand or it's his daughter or whatever it is. Now, where these ideas originated from of how to become a man, I don't know. But most likely they became passed down from generation to generation, from fathers, brothers, uncles, cousins, etc., that thought that this was becoming a man, this was what it required, and just kept passing it down and down and down, and it spread to their family, to their friends, into schools, everywhere. But it needs to be stopped because it grows and festers into becoming a terrible person who's only obsessed with themselves, preserving themselves in their own self-pleasure, and not concerned about the needs of somebody else. And more often than not, it creates people who don't like being told no, who don't take no for an answer, and becoming one of the worst criminals in our society. But then how do we counteract to this huge social epidemic of we're creating men who only obsess with sex? Because that's how we think to create our manhood. How do we counteract? How do we counteract in this society of do whatever makes you happy, do whatever brings you pleasure? This selfish and self-absorbed society. How do we counteract this? As a man, we are the protector, the nurturer, and the foundation of the women in our lives. And before anyone goes and says it, yes, women are strong, independent, and capable of doing everything for themselves. That's not what we're saying here. But as the saying goes, behind every great man lies a great woman. And the same can be said in reverse. But more than achieving any level of greatness, the women in our lives need to be valued, adored, and glorified. And the testament to that not happening is what we talked about before. Boys are not being raised to value, adore, and glorify the women in their lives. They're seen as objects, or more so vessels, for their own self-enjoyment and fulfillment. Which just confirms the fact that we need to value, adore, and glorify the women in our lives. Whether that be our mothers, sisters, girlfriends, wives, co-workers, friends, whatever it may be, but mostly our daughters. Our women are all daughters of somebody and princesses, and should be cherished in such a way. Tell them that they are infinitely beautiful and cherished no matter what the world or some selfish guy tells them. We need to teach each and every one of our sisters and daughters that they have a value to them that can't be taken away and that should not be thrown away just to satisfy somebody else. Many of our girls suffer from what's called the father wound. They go to their dad and say, "Dad, am I pretty? No. Am I beautiful? No. Am I attractive? Do I have virtues? No. Don't you have homework to do or something? Am I delightful? Will a man fight for me? No. Oh, Dad, I got an A on my test, or I passed all my classes this semester. That's nice. Go clean your room." He's watching TV, he's drunk. He has his own wounds to heal. He doesn't give his daughter what she desperately needs, that recognition, that worth, that praise, that value, that adoration, that glorification. It all stems from somewhere. We as men have to recognize that our girls, our wives, our daughters, they're in towers, surrounded by some kind of dragon. And you better make sure you got a sword that's nice and sharp. You better cut down that dragon. Cut down whatever's eating your girl up. Save your girl's heart. Fight for your girl's heart, or your wife's heart, or your daughter's heart. Fight and help whatever's eating your girl up. Fight those voices in her head that says she's not thin enough, that she's not pretty enough. Fight for your girl. Be her knight in shining armor. To any women out there watching this, don't sacrifice your worth, your morals, your virtues, or your standards to some guy who wouldn't give you the time of day if he wasn't trying to use you. Do not forget that you have a voice, and there's always somebody who will listen to you. In the last video we talked about there's billions of people on this planet, and there I can guarantee you there's going to be one person, at least one person, who will listen to you and will help you. Do not feel like you're alone. Do not forget that you're alone, because you're not. And more so, there will always be a person that will listen to you and help you, but there is always going to be at least one person to love you and to cherish you and to value you for who you are. Do not sacrifice who you are for somebody else. You know, I've heard friends, classmates, random people say, "Man, my girlfriend, she's the best. I love her so much. I mean, yeah, we sleep together, but I still love her. I love her so much. Man, I would die for her." And I'm like, really? Do it. Die for her. Kill off your own desires and your lusts for her. Put her needs before you. Die of yourself. Die of your own wants and needs. Put her everything before you. That's love. That is being a man. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to conclude today's video. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you learned something. Please share with anybody who might be in need of this information. Just trying to spread this information around to as many people as we can. Try to help as many people as we can. Remember, try to be the best version of yourself, the superhuman that you could be. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next week.